Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I am going to be covering the Mercenaries of this week of Apex Arena to see if there are any of them that are useful. So, before I start, I should mention as well, I probably won't play much Apex, if at all, this weekend, because this is just a bad week for my party specifically. In particular, the mages have gotten their enchant items from Shelfaniel, right? Because this week is Shelfaniel, and Shelfaniel rewards are mage buffs, mastery stones for mages. On the other hand, assassins have gotten nothing. Since my party currently uses both Omega and Zerida, the fact that neither of them have been buffed yet is causing me issues. I did some World Arena this week, and Omega was just doing terribly because most of the mages I've encountered had very high skill due to getting their mastery stones. Whereas my Omega currently has no mastery stones, and thus he doesn't have enough skill to actually hit them directly, right? So I'm lacking all of these, and in truth, my Omega really needs this skill to be near max to be usable. So I'm missing, like, let's say, I believe this maxes out at 75, so I need at least 70, I would estimate, for the arena mastery for Omega to be good. So it's going to be a week I likely will skip. At most, I'll do one battle to get one victory so that I can get the first ranked victory this week reward. So we'll see though, because I don't really want to drop out of 1700 either. This is just a terrible week for me in terms of doing Apex Arena. Right? I'm not sure losing 5 rare enchants and as well as 5 arena mastery stones gift pack is worth it. So I might just not do any battle at all, because I don't feel 50 honor points and 50 Trinity crystals is worth the potential loss. So, with that said, let's go and talk about the Mercenaries of this week. And it's actually another dry week. I took a quick look already. First of all, Leticia, Freya, Vargas, and Ledin are all tanks that you don't particularly want to use. Right? They're not considered top tier tanks at all, so you can safely eliminate these characters right there. Landius, it's well built, surprisingly, right? Good amount of attack, good amount of hit points increases. You know, the primary purpose of a tank is to survive, so the fact that this player has focused on attack and hit points is great. The unfortunate thing, though, of this Landius is that it has a Slayer's emblem. For higher level matches, that actually isn't the problem, because people rarely bring Leon into their Apex box. But for lower tier matches, you're going to run into a lot of players who actually have Leon in their team of 15 characters. And Leon's 1000 Hooves would hard counter this Landius. So I can't say it's a positive thing overall. So, overall, and the other thing is, this is ultimately a 4-star Landius, which really also reduces its impact. Granted, you know, my Landius itself is only 5 stars, but still, the stat increases per star level do help, especially for PvP as a tank. So, next is Rene, and this Rene is 4 stars. Its power is high at 58-51, but when you look into the details, there's actually not that much intelligence increase overall. At least it's a little bit lacking, right? This should be 15% and it's 9. So this is giving 3 int, so you can still stay 9%. There's 2% here, so 11% I suppose. 11% plus 7 is 18%. So, and I guess there is that 15% damage increase, but overall, I'm not a huge fan of this Rene. The total intelligence is 430 plus 262. My Rene, which I don't even use for PvP very often, has 478 plus 323. Right. So I'm looking at, I think, 100 additional int over this Rene, and we're at the same star level. So not a fan. I just think it'll have a lot of trouble one-shotting things in general. So I'd say this Rene is a pass. Bernhard. This is a 6-star Bernhard, which is weakened by the fact it has Assault Ring. Right? I mean, if you're going to use this Bernhard to do AoE damage, fixed damage, it also has a Nighthawk instead of the Bloodsword Hunting. So I just feel like it's another pass. 441 attack plus 216 is a very low attack increase, I think. If we compare that to my Bernhard, right, 443 plus 344, right? So yet again, another Bernhard that surprisingly just doesn't have enough attack buffs. I have over 100 attack on top of this Bernhard. Continuing on is Varna. For some bizarre reason, this Varna has a sword bracer emblem. I don't know why. Really, just about the worst character to give a bracer emblem in truth, because her mass attack, right, provides immunity to silence. So I don't see why you would need this bracer emblem, immunity to fixed damage. But by default, flyer classes tend to have pretty high hit points. So yeah. Quick summary, pass. I mean, it's a weird equipment set. If you really do wish, you could use it. But in the first place, by this season, Varna isn't that great in general for your Apex box. So, moving on. And finally, this is a 5-star Varna. Like, there's very few reasons I can see to use it. Shelfaniel. This Shelfaniel is 6 stars, meaning she could bring Demolish and toss out the Demolish every single turn. It has very high intelligence, 467 plus 312, but it has very low hit points. So the conclusion is it's usable, but you have to be aware that it's very vulnerable to AoE damage in general, because there's basically just 5% hit point buff, that's it, on this Shelfaniel. But if she can avoid getting one-shotted, let's say getting targeted by Omega or whatnot, or Zerida, this Shelfaniel could endlessly toss out the Demolish AoE, which could be useful. Yeah. At the top level, it's not usable, but maybe at the lower levels, like maybe Silver or Gold, you could use this Shelfaniel. Sorry, not Gold, Silver. Bronze and Silver. Finally, last but not least, is Iris. And this Iris, well, has a... We can see that it doesn't have that much hit point buff. It has a good amount of intelligence, which is what you generally want. So once again, I don't know. Just lacking hit points, and hit points is the main thing for healers in general. In order for them to survive, to be able to heal up your party, they need high hit points. Like I have this expectation that my healers have a roughly 5,600 or 5,700 hit points to be usable for PvP, and this Iris is far below that. So I don't think it has any real survivability. If it gets targeted by Zerida or Omega or whatever, it's going to die. So I feel like, in other words, I feel like overall, basically every character this week is a pass. There's no one particularly that really stands out that seems like it's worth using. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful. And on that note, Nitro out.